I can't remember what I had for breakfast. No, I'll tell you what, he's incredible, and just the way he manages everything. Going back to last summer when Tommy was born, he navigated that in the summertime and made sure he was present when he needed to be present at home and still got his work done in the gym. So he's having a heck of a year. It's been fun to watch.
You mentioned after that St. John's game that you could probably take a little bit off of his plate, but how has he just adjusted to everything that is on his plate?
That was probably just coach speak. Not a very smart coach, obviously. It's just hard to take it off his plate. We need it. We need him to do so much, and fortunately, he's embraced that. And we're lucky and blessed that he got himself in unbelievable shape before the season started. Because if he wasn't in great shape and he had to do what we're asking him to do now, it would be a tall task. But he's an Energizer bunny out there. He never stops moving, which makes him very difficult to guard.
What stood out to you about what Steven and Ryan were dealing with, and then the performances that they had on Saturday?
Yeah, they sure didn't look good to start of the game. I like the fact that they fought through it, and Steven, he went on a stretch there where I think he was 1 of 20 from the 3-point line till he hit the one late in the game that created the separation that we needed. But what he's doing, handling the ball and distributing the basketball. He almost had a triple-double at halftime. Sticking his nose in there and rebounding. He's doing a lot. And then I thought Kalk had one of his best 20 minutes of basketball in that second half at Butler. Just dominated the game, really in all phases, defensively at the rim, blocking shots and getting out in transition and running, hitting a couple threes, and scoring at the rim. A huge, big-time play with the game on the line where he spun baseline with his left hand. So, we're asking a lot out of those two, but they're answering the bell. We were able to get Fedor out there a little bit more, which was good to see, and I think Jemiah just continues to get more comfortable in what we're doing and the role that he's being asked to play without Pop compared to what we were asking him to do when Pop was still playing. And we got healthy. Having that break over Christmas and then another break, I think allowed some of those bumps and bruises to heal up, and we were a pretty fresh team when we got to Indianapolis.
Providence has put up at least 84 in their last 3. How important defensive assignments going to be
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to believe when they struggled some early, but the way they're scoring the basketball right now has been really impressive. And against good teams, you go to UConn and score 84, and you score that many points against a good Seton Hall team defensively. It's hard to believe that they haven't had a little bit more success. But I think he's tweaked some things, and like us, you learn what's life going to be like without Pop Isaacs, and there's a lot of adjustments and a lot of tweaking. And I think Kim probably went through the same thing with Bryce Hopkins. That he wasn't with him, and then he was, and now he's not. So that changes roles so much, and you have to figure out how you're best going to play with the hand that you've been dealt. He's done a really good job of that, and they probably should have won the game against St. John's. They really dominated that game for most of the time. They go to Stores and lead for 32 minutes of that game before getting beat in the last 6 or 7 minutes. So they're playing their best basketball this season right now, and it's obviously with both of us at 3 wins in the conference, it's a huge game for both teams.
Jackson's 3-point percentage continues to rise at 2 assists, no turnovers in that last game. How have you seen him continue to find ways to contribute and be comfortable out there?
Yeah, I think he's number one, he has no fear, as we've talked about. He's comfortable shooting the shot no matter how much space he has. And I thought the first half of the Butler game was one of his better defensive halves of the year as well. So, we're asking him to grow up pretty fast. From a physicality standpoint, he's got to get stronger, and he's losing some physical battles just because he's 18, 19 years old, playing against 24-year-olds. But he's getting better every single day, and he's figuring out ways to impact winning without scoring.
And the way Isaac and Jackson at their height can hit shots off movement, what does that do for your offense?
Well, it's huge because you have to account for him, and you have to be close to him because at 6'9", 6'10", you can't be closing out with a guard and not be on top of them because they both get it off quick and they both can shoot it deep. So a lot of teams don't have one of those guys, and we're blessed to have two.
Like how, I know you said that it'll be a process, obviously, but how do you think Fedor is coming along in that process?
Yeah, you know, I think he still thinks a lot, and anytime you're on the court and you have to think, your feet aren't going to move. You're not going to play your best basketball, and he's just thinking, where am I supposed to be on this set play? What's my defensive assignment? Am I supposed to switch? Am I supposed to go under? Am I supposed to go over? All those things are happening in his mind, and it almost paralyzes you as a basketball player. And that's what September, October, November, December were supposed to be for, and he really got it thrown at him at Christmas time. So it's going to be a process. I was pleased with his minutes the other day, and just at this stage of the game, Mason is defensively is better than he is, understands what we're doing in the scouting report better. So when the game's being decided, right now I've got a little more confidence in the guy that's been here.
Getting that win on Saturday, you talked about how hard it is to win on the road in this league. What does that do for you at this point in the season when you're facing a Butler team that you said was desperate?
Yeah, and they've played a lot of close games and just haven't found a way to finish them, both at home and on the road. They led St. John's for the majority of that game. They had Villanova beat basically with 3 minutes left and didn't score the last 3 minutes. So you're going to get their best shot. And there's a great crowd there on Saturday, like there always is across the Big East. So anytime you can go on the road and you get one, it's a huge step in the right direction.
Your experience when you've had this much adversity so early in the season, does it help a team when you get into January, February, March in terms of just being able to deal with whatever's thrown your way?
Yeah, we've certainly dealt with a lot this year, and the next man up mentality is something you talk about all the time. And the reality of it as a coach, you hope you don't have to use it, but we've had to this year, and guys have stepped up. I've been pleased with Jason's progress, and Mason's not himself offensively yet, but defensively he's made great strides, and some of the things he's done on the backboards have been really good. Jackson's getting better. Isaac's improved from a year ago. Fred, I think, is having his best year. So, across the board, guys are improving and they're getting better, and I think they've really settled in to the roles that we're asking them to play. We just, as we know, it's no secret, we don't have a huge margin for error. If one of our, big three is not performing at a high level, we're in for trouble. So we're putting a lot of pressure on Steven and Kalk and Jemiah to really perform at a really high level for us.
What does that look like, trying to get Mason back on offensively?
Yeah, I mean, in practice he's been fine. He needs to hunt some shots a little bit in games. I think he's playing not to make a mistake right now, and you don't want to think like that. But he's battled through a lot of adversity in the summer with the broken leg, and then missed a couple weeks of practice with various injuries in October and November. So we just got to get him back in the flow, and I think the most important thing is he just needs to see one go in. And I think once he sees one go in, I think this thing can reverse itself pretty quickly.
Anything else? The Pittsburgh Steelers, #1 offseason move could be what? You're the GM.
Do you understand I got enough problems of my own to worry about the Pittsburgh Steelers? It wasn't an ideal end of the season, I'll give it that. It was could have been better, but in Tomlin I trust. That's all I'll say.
Thanks, man.
Thank you, guys.